Evacuation protocols enacted. All craft are ordered to evacuate the planet immediately. I repeat, all craft immediately evacuate.
Welcome back to Me, Myself, and I, 5 Parsecs from Home, Episode 4, where we have seen that Putnik 2 is about to be invaded by the Swarm Brood, and it is time for everybody to get off the planet. There's no time to do anything else, and in fact, our guys might be forced to fight a battle which could end in all of their deaths if the Swarm Brood attacks and wins, because there's no escaping this Swarm Brood invasion. If you fail, I would have to use a very fancy stars of the story point. So the first thing we do to begin this episode is flee invasion. We cannot be caught in this war, in this invasion, and so, since we were told that we were being invaded, we must now roll 2d6, and we must attempt to flee. We're looking for 8 or more. To escape, 6. Okay, so there's no time during the world step to do anything except assign equipment before proceeding to the battle section, where you must fight an invasion battle, and invasion battles are very tough because there's way more of them, and that means there's going to be more tough things, and it's just going to be bad, and if you lose, you're all dead. It's bad. Now, I could spend a story point to reroll that if I want to, but I'm not going to, and do you know why? Because I spent a bunch of time painting up these miniatures, so I want to use them. So I'm going to fight this invasion battle. So basically, our guys respond to the alarms, the klaxons blaring, everything going off, and they know they gotta get out of here. They've only recently just said farewell to Jenna as she's still in the hospital. Hopefully she gets out on a medical ship, but everybody's fleeing the planet. The patrons, the rivals, everybody's getting to hell out of here, and our guys are no exception. But first, before they get to their ship and escape, they realize they've been cornered in the docking bay by the brood swarm, and they must fight the brood swarm. Now, we have no time to do anything except assign equipment. So the only thing that isn't assigned so far is the communicator we got from last time, which allows you to roll your reaction die twice and take the better. I'm going to give that to the captain. There is nothing else we have that isn't damaged, so we can't assign. All of our consumables you don't have to assign. It says in the rules anybody can grab those at any time, so I don't have to specifically say who has a stim pack. But we do have stim packs, 2 of them, and we have rage out, 2 of them as well. Going to try and remember this could be very important. We know who the enemy is. It's the Swarm Brood. We have to outlast all the attacking forces as the war rages all around us. Invasion opponents always have 2 additional enemies, okay? You must hold out for 6 rounds, and then you can flee or fight until you hold the field. There is no win condition. Any figure that leaves the table before round 6 becomes a casualty, and there's really no coming back. If the whole crew becomes casualties, they are overwhelmed and presumably cocooned and eaten by the Swarm Brood, but let's not go there just yet. The other issue is when we are rolling for how many enemies we have to fight, the Swarm Brood, unfortunately, adds +2 to the numbers. So basically, I'm adding 4 additional enemies. Oh my goodness. So how many are there? Well, let's have a look. We roll 2d6 and pick the higher result. How many are there? There's 4 plus 4 is 8. That means there's no specialist for Swarm Brood because they don't have additional weapons, but there is a pack leader. And that pack leader is going to have an increased combat skill of an additional +1. There's no unique individuals in an invasion battle. So we just basically go to the landing bay where the crew of the Furious has to fight off the Swarm Brood and escape into orbit before the rest of the alien fleet lands and begins to overrun this planet. Very, very scary. Don't forget stim packs and rage out and story points. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the table. So here we are at the table in the hangar bay as the Swarm Brood has emerged into the hangar bay as our guys are trying to get aboard the Furious and escape as fast as possible. Now, we're going to do something a little different here. We're going to use a possible rule from enemy deployment variables from the Trailblazers handbook, which is a supplement for this game, but we won't know whether we need those rules until after we seize the initiative. So right now, these enemies, all painted up now, my goodness, look at that, oh, how lovely. They are deployed right now, but that might change based on whether or not we attempt to seize the initiative. So seizing the initiative, we add the savvy, the highest savvy of the team, which is, I believe, +1. So we're gonna roll +1, but we also have a scanner bot. Kale has a scanner bot, which gives an additional +1. So we are also outnumbered, so that's +3. We are rolling. Here we go. We're rolling +3 to this roll, and we're gonna get 3, 4. 4 + 3 is 7. We do not seize the initiative, which means because we failed to seize the initiative, which that's not good news. What we're going to do is we're going to roll on this table here, this enemy deployment variable. These are beasts, so let's see if there's any variance in their setup. 0-8 is half flank. Half flank. Randomly select a neutral battlefield edge. So that's one of these. 1 to 3 is this one. It's this one. The half of the enemy forces closest, so these 4, closest to this battlefield edge is removed from the battlefield and set up near the center of the selected battlefield edge. No enemy may be closer than 12 inches to a crew member. So they are doing a half flank formation, which means they're approaching from multiple angles. Very bad news. And this, of course, is the pack leader there. So they're going to start here. They can't come within 12 inches of a member. So that means this is the closest they can possibly be. They come swarming out of all sides, and they're going to stay within an inch of each other, but 2 inches from a different group. So now we do reaction rolls. The captain has his communicator, which gives him a +1 to his reaction roll dice. He can pick the highest as round 1. Boop! Round 1, and we're doing our reaction rolls for our crew. Captain gets to roll twice. Okay, so we have 2 2s, which is good. We're going to re-roll the 6 for the captain. He's going to be on the slow one for sure, so we'll give the slow one to Captain Ganymer. But 2 2s, which means reactions of 2. Oh, that is the captain. Mara's the only one that can take advantage of this, which means we go into the quick phase. So Mara is here. Captain Ganymer's here. Let's start with the captain. He has a military rifle, which gives him a range of 24. He does have a combat of 1. So who can he hit? Well, he can hit all kinds of people, but they're definitely going to be behind cover. Does he have any hit over here? He can kind of shoot at anybody he wants. I think what we're going to do is we're going to shoot that guy right there. So that guy's going to be behind cover, and he's far range, so this is going to be a 6-up shot. The captain has a combat of +1, and he rolls a 5. +1 is 6, which is a hit. Fantastic. Okay, his damage. The damage of the weapon is just straight up. They have toughness 4 and 1, which means he stuns this one. And as a quick reminder, a stun means that you can either move or attack. Not a bad way to start. Mara over here. Mara is behind cover. She does have a shot at the other one if she wants it. Oh, you know what? Does she have a shot at that one guy? She has a, yeah, she can hit the guy that the captain just hit, but I don't think so. I think she's going to aim at this one. So in fact, and she is going to aim, which means she can re-roll 1s because she did not move. She has a hunting rifle, range of 30 shots, 1. She's going to fire with her combat of 0, so she needs a 6. She will miss. Unfortunately, that is the end of the quick phase of round 1. We now go to the enemies. So beasts, when they're moving, beast enemies will always attempt to move as far as possible towards the nearest opponent while remaining in cover. Last time I had them dash into a brawl, which you can't do, even though they should actually have that. If I was going to house rule that, I would say that Swarm Brood can dash into a brawl, but I'm not going to do that now because I want to play the game as is written to fully understand it. They will only break cover if they can enter a brawl within 2 moves. Otherwise, they will move to break line of sight and maneuver closer. When possible, they will attempt to remain within 2 inches of a friendly figure attacking the same targets. So we start from left to right. So these guys are going to move. Oh boy. Well, they move 6, by the way. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. That puts him there. This guy will be able to come up right behind him. And they're going to dash an additional 2 inches. they begin to clamber towards it. Over here, we have the pack leader. They are also going to go towards the closest guys here, and they're going to try and remain within cover as well. He's going to go 6 up to there. He's going to go 6 up to there, and they will remain behind cover there, not dashing the extra way and putting themselves in the open. These two are all going to move towards the closest, which of course over here, the closest is going to mean they can leap over that with very little problem. Put them there and there. In fact, yeah, he's going to dash 2 inches there, and he's going to dash 2 inches there. And over here, same kind of thing. These guys are leaping over the things. 5 inches puts them there and there. Oh, but this guy's stunned, so that's all he can do. He cannot dash, and the stun token is taken away. Okay, that was the end of the enemy phase. We go into slow phase now. So, oh boy, here's the thing. Let's start over here with Katria. Katria, I think if she moves here, if she moves 3 inches this way, she can fire at this guy right here. Yeah, she's going to do that, but it's obviously through cover. But it is within 5 inches, which means it's going to be a 5-up shot. And she's pretty good. So she moves and fires, so she can't aim. She is using her military rifle. She rolls with +1. She's looking for 5-up. 4 + 1 is 5. That is a hit. And does she damage it? The military rifle is just straight up damage, and she takes this one out. Kablam! Great, so once again, Katria gets the +1 XP for drawing first blood, which is great. That was her. Captain has already gone. Vine has a good shot right now on the leader. I think he might want to take that shot with his 30-inch range military laser. It's going to be a 6-up shot because this thing is, of course, behind cover. He's going to shoot at combat at +1. He needs 6-up, 2, 3. He's going to miss, unfortunately, because he only gets 1 shot with that thing. So that was Vine. Kale over here. Kale has his military rifle as well, so he's well within range of that leader. He's going to fire as well. He rolls at +0, so he needs a 6-up, and he actually hits it. His military rifle barks out a report, scattering bullets into the thing. The thing's toughness is 4. Please tell me he does it. He does it! Kale takes out the pack leader. Fantastic. Boom! That is the end of the pack leader. That's great, because the pack leader would have been tough to put down. Okay, that was Kale. And finally, we have Stein. Stein has a couple of pistols with ranges of 12, so I don't even know if he has it. You know, he does not have a shot. He'd have to move. Stein, I think he's gonna move his 4 inches this way to the edge of the wall here. And now he does have a shot. It's still behind cover. He's got a shot to that guy, or he does have a shot to that guy. It doesn't really matter. I think he wants to break up the pair, though, for sure. So he is going to fire with a 6-up, with his hand laser. Oh, wait a minute. Is he in range? Is he in range? I'm pretty sure he is, but maybe he's not. Yeah, he's just within range of that hand laser, which is good to know. And he is rolling. He's got to get a 6-up, combat +1. Does he do it? He hits with his hand laser. Does he wound? The damage is 0 with the hand laser. No, he stuns that one for 1, which is still pretty good. And that was Stein. That brings us to round 2. They have to survive 6 rounds of this or hold the field. So far, not too terrible, but here we go. We are going into the reaction phase now, and again, the captain with his communicator. Does he get that every round? Yeah, each round he can roll an additional die, then choose when to discard. Here we go. This is for the group. What do we got? We have 2 1s. I'm gonna re-roll the captain's die, and he gets 5. So okay. So the captain basically has to go. Yeah, I think the captain, because he has to take the worst result, so he has to take the second result. No, he can take the best of the result. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's going in the slow round. So that means 2 1s. That can be to anybody right now. I think Katria needs it. Yeah, I think Stein is going to take it. He might actually go into Overwatch, which is cool. We've never done that rule before. But otherwise, everyone else is on the slow round. So here we go. Okay, let's start over here with Katria in the quick round. She aims and fires. She does. Does she? Does she have a hit? She does. She can see this thing through there. Pow. It is within 6 inches, but it's behind cover, so it's a 5 up. However, she fires once with her one shot for the mini rifle with a +1, and she will miss. Unfortunately, kapow! And it wasn't a 1, so she can't reroll. So that is the end of her. Stein. Just because it's cool, he's going to go into Overwatch. He's going to go into Snapfire, which basically means as soon as an enemy moves within his range, he can take a shot. Which is, well, it's good. So he's going to be in Overwatch. That's good to know. This brings us to the enemy phase over here. Well, unfortunately, this thing lost his buddy, unfortunately for him. This thing moves 6, which no problem. That's an open doorway right there. It's no issue at all for him to get through there. And he gets right up to her, coming in, all slashing. He didn't have to do a dash, so he's moving into Brawl. The Brawl happens at the end of the enemy round, which means it's possible, if this guy was closer, that he could have got there and joined in a gang-up action, but he's not gonna have the room to do it. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3 inches there, and then another 6 inches, or another 3 inches there, and then another 2 for a dash, so that's the end of him. Brawl happens at the end of the enemy's round, so we're gonna move here. This guy is stunned, so he's gonna move towards Stein. Now, he's gonna move, he can't dash, because he's stunned, so he's only doing one thing. He's gonna move, but how does this work? Snapfire. This allows them to fire when the enemy moves. Firing during an enemy move prevents the firing character from moving this round. Okay, well, yes, we know that. So this is really a good tactic against people who can fire. So this guy begins to move. Now here's the thing. He's gonna go, does Stein wait until he's in range? This guy's gonna go 5 and then 6, which puts him there. He's stunned. Now, yeah, Stein waits, hold. And then as soon as he is within 6 inches, which actually is over here, he fires with the hand laser. And now the guy is within 6 inches, and he is in the open, which means it is a 3-up roll, and he rolls with +1. He rolls a 6, which is a hit. Does he damage him? There is no damage bonus to this. 3 doesn't meet the toughness, which means he's stunned for another round. However, he just moved, so that would have used his stun, and now he gets stunned again, so he's still at 1 basically. That was on the Snapfire, so that was the move. He's stunned, so we can't dash. This one, however, this one's gonna go behind cover here, trying to break line of sight. It's trying to stay within 2 inches of him, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So he's gonna stay there. These guys are going to move 5, 6, and then dash up to here, and same thing, keeping there. And they are keeping out of the line of sight, which was the enemy's turn. And now we go to the slow. Oh, wait, the enemy's turn is over, so now we have the Brawl. So here's the deal with the Brawl. Both Katria and the Swarm Brood are going to roll. The Swarm Brood attacks with a +3 because it's got melee weapons, which is claws, and then it's got a +1 to combat. So it rolls a +3. Katria rolls her combat, which is +1. She has a blade, which is, so they're both rolling at +3. The white is Katria, the black, whoever is the alien, whoever gets higher gets what they want. Oh, it's a tie. What happens in a tie? Oh, I think in a tie, they hit each other. Yeah, on a draw, both characters take a hit. Okay. All right, so let's resolve the hit first on Katria. They hit each other. The Swarm Brood does 1d6 +1 against her toughness of 4. Oh no, that takes Katria out. But at the same time, she is striking with her blade, which is just a straight up 1 damage. She's got to get 4 or more. She does! They take each other out in a flurry of brawling attacks. The alien comes in with its many limbs slicing her to ribbons, but she is able to gut the thing, maybe some acid sprays out of it and takes her out. Don't forget stim packs and rage out. Don't forget stim packs and rage out. Okay, so that was the end of the enemy turn. Now we go into the slow turns. Well, these folks right here have just seen Kathria go down, and they can hear another alien coming out, but they are doing pretty good, actually. So I think on the slow turn, the first thing that's going to happen is we'll start here. Mara has a shot. She did not move, so she can aim if she has the shot, and she does. So this thing, I'm going to say it still is in cover, so she has to roll a 6 up to hit it. She's rolling with the 0. Does she fire? And does she hit 2? No, she misses. So that is the end of her. I think we'll do Vine first. Vine's got to move and attack. You know what? I think Vine shouts to Kale, "Hold this bay! I'm gonna go out and help the captain!" And so he moves. Remember, he has got a battle visor, so he re-rolls 1s on shooting anyway, so there's no point for him to aim, because he automatically gets an aim, basically. So his move is 4. He's quite slow. There's no real point him going into cover, so he's just gonna go here on the slow action, and he is going to fire in close range at the wounded thing with his infantry laser. And he is rolling with a +1. Does he hit him? Yes. No, because this thing is within 1 inch of cover, so that's actually a 5 up. So he misses with that shot. If anyone is within 1 inch of a terrain type thing, then they basically get cover from it because they're using it for cover. So actually, you know what? In this particular situation, I don't think that's the case. I think if it was a different angle, maybe. So you know what? I'm going to say that it doesn't benefit from cover, so that's a 3-up shot. 2 + 1 is 3, so he does hit him. And what is the damage on that? 4 takes him out. Kale over here. Kale is going to move. What is his move? He's quite fast, so he's going to move his 5. I don't think he has to go all that distance, though. He's going to go here, where he can get this shot through cover, and it is within 6, so this is a 5-up shot. Kale is rolling at +0. 5 is a hit. Damage with the military rifle is 0. 4 takes the creature out. Boom! Okay, all right, that was Kale, which leads us to the captain. The captain does see this alien here. He does have line of sight, but it's behind cover. And of course, it's not within 6 inches because of, no, it's 7 inches. So he does not have a shot there, but he does have a shot here. He's going to take it. This is a 6-up shot. Does he do it? His +1 combat, pow, 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 with his military rifle. 4 + 1 is 5. That is a miss. And that's the captain on slow turns, which means we go now to round the 3rd. Oh, you know what? Going into round 3, let's introduce a random event, which we have that option with the battle rules in the main book. Where is it? Battle events optional. At the end of round 2, roll once and apply the outcome. Let's do that. So, 15. Lost heart. The enemy has had enough of this fight. At the end of the next round, they will leave the field. Oh my god, we could win if we survive this. That's fantastic. I thought it was going to be terrible, but this actually worked out for the best. Oh, okay, the enemy's lost heart. You can see why. They're getting just blown to pieces here. We do reaction rolls. And what do we get? We get, oh, look at that. Fantastic. The captain's going to re-roll the 6. And he is reaction 2, so he is also going to go in the slow phase. But we have 3 1s, which is fantastic. We have 3 guys going first. I think Vine is going to take a shot. I think Stein is going to take a shot. And I think Mara is going to take the shot. Then we have, that's it. The first round, Mara doesn't really see this target. So Mara is going to go into Snapfire. She's going to go into Overwatch. And Stein is also going to go into Overwatch in case this thing moves out here. Vine doesn't really have the shot here, but he will, once he moves, because he's got the battle visor, so he can re-roll 1s if he wants to. He's going to move his 4 behind the captain there, which gives him a covered shot, but just out of range. He needs 6s. He's rolling with a +1 combat, and he gets 5 + 1 is 6. He hits this thing. Does it do any damage? Infantry laser, damage 0. 6 up, completely takes this thing out. Boom! In that case, these guys are still on Overwatch. They're going to change their mind. They did say they were going to Snapfire. Should I honor that? Let's honor that. Because they can still act in the slow phase if they don't do anything. Okay, so they're both in Overwatch, so let's go to the enemy phase. There's only 2 left, and they're going to retreat at the end of the next round, but not yet. It is not over yet, because these things can go 6 or really 8 with a dash, but they can't dash in. You know what? We won, because these things cannot get close enough without dashing through the snow in a 4-armed open sleigh. Yeah, they cannot get close enough to our guys before the beginning of the next round, which means that if our guys don't kill those things, they'll flee the battlefield, which means we have actually, I just remembered the stim pack for Catria. A little late, but you know what? I'm gonna use it anyway, and just gonna say, my goodness, that Catra was in fact stunned. Oh, she was so stunned from the attacks that she only emerges now at the end of this round. So she's not a casualty. She used the stim pack. Oh! At the end of the next round, they will leave the field. There's no point in us even rolling again because we win. They turn and flee the field. Now the planet is still being invaded. So there is no time, as these guys are just, celebrating their victory, basically, as these enemies, as the aliens flee the field. We know those aliens are only going back to get more reinforcements, as wave after wave of swarm brood are on their way. So our guys, the captain rounds everybody up. Let's go, let's go, let's go! And they jump into the ship and blast off, escaping, holding the field on this invasion battle, and surviving. Amazing. Let's see what the outcome is in our post-battle round. Here we are in the post-battle round after the invasion. So there was no rivals, there was no patrons, they're all gone, they all fled the planet. There was no quest progress. We don't get paid because it was an invasion battle. There's no battlefield fines because it was an invasion battle. We don't check for invasion because it just happened. We get no loot because it was an invasion battle. We determine injuries and recovery. There would have been a roll on an injury table, but thankfully I remembered to use up one of the 2 very valuable stim packs to turn Cathria's casualty into a stun, and then forgot about it. But it's fine. The point is that she's fine, so there was no casualties here, but we did have to use a very valuable stim pack. Experience and character upgrades, I'm pretty sure we get this. So Cathria had the first kill, so she gets +1. Survived and won. Everybody gets +3. Well, that's a lot. That's great stuff here. The captain is at 8 XP. We can improve things right now if we want. Ooh, do I want to increase his combat to +2? Or his reactions? Well, he's got the communicator. I think he's going to do his toughness. I think he's going to spend 6, which leaves him with 2, to go up to toughness 4. Stein has 6. He could get speed or savvy or toughness. His toughness is already 4. You know what? I'm going to hold on Stein. Gonna wait. Mara has 4 XP, so she can't buy anything. Vine has 8. Vine could use some reaction speed increase, that's for sure. In fact, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to increase Vine's action speed reactions to 2. Kale, the precursor, only has 3. Cathria has 8, and I think she is going to spend 5 to get a savvy increase. Her savvy was already +1 because she's that scientist, remember? So now it's going to be +2. So that's going to be very helpful for seizing the initiative and stuff like that. Okay, so that was that. Invested advanced training, pretty sure we can't do that because we are out of money. Almost. And also it was an invasion thing, so we can't do that. Purchase items. I don't see how we could purchase items considering there's nowhere to buy from. We're on the run. It doesn't explicitly say you cannot purchase stuff here. I'm going to assume that's an oversight because if you can't do anything else, you shouldn't be able to purchase items. I mean, they're literally on the run out of the starport. So even if I got the rules wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm calling that. They can't do it. And then we do roll for a campaign event. And we do roll for a character event still. So the campaign event, besides, fleeing this planet, I don't think this applies. The taxman is taking an interest in your business conduct. You would have to pay tax, but again, I think because we're fleeing, the taxman's fleeing too on his own ship, going somewhere else, so I don't think that applies. Because that happened after the invasion battle, I don't think it applies. So I'm going to roll the character event. Who is it? Random character. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is Vine. What happens to Vine in fleeing of the invasion?
You've made a real personal breakthrough.
Select one ability score that has not been increased from its starting value when the character entered the campaign, and it increases by +1 immediately. Savvy. Everything else has gone up, so Savvy goes up to 1. So, interesting. I think maybe Vine learned something about the failed seizing of the initiative against these creatures, and I think he's been honing his tactical studies, basically, and that's going to help them in the future, which is pretty cool. And the planet was invaded this turn, so I'm not going to track the Galactic War progress yet because they're just escaping. But basically that brings us to the end of campaign turn 4, which means as they're fleeing the overwhelmed planet of Putnik 2, somehow everybody's still intact, they are charting a course for the planet where they know the next clue to find the concealed stash of the Vendetta's crew is. So when we come back for campaign turn 5, we're gonna do all kinds of cool stuff we haven't done before. We're gonna do the travel, this is the starship travel stuff. We're gonna do new world generation, all that kind of cool stuff. But that'll have to wait till next time on the 5 Parsecs from Home campaign. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you do want to help to support the show, hitting like and subscribing is a huge help to us. Or if you want to become a YouTube channel member or a Patreon member, the links for all of that is below. Again, to point out that everything in the Me, Myself, and Die online store, which is all handmade merchandise, is 10% off until the end of December with code HOHOHO at checkout. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time on Me, Myself, and Die.